Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back.
Why'd you look at me like that?
I always look at you.
Okay,
I guess we ain't looking at each
no,
other this
you
Thursday.
gave me a certain look. Okay, sorry, guys. I'm Brandice.
I'm Jo'Van.
And you're watching
Closing the Gap.
Somebody is live the last
Hey,
week
you know
of
what I'm saying?
Black History Month.
Woo, woo. Do you have a Black History fact for today?
I do.
Okay.
Do you want to jump onto that now?
We don't have to do it right now.
We can. Let me pull out my facts.
Uh-oh.
Let's see.
Let's learn about some black people today.
Listen. So, my fact is about Althea Gibson.
Okay. Althea.
Have you heard of her?
I have not.
She is described as the forgotten pioneer.
Okay.
She was the first black tennis player to win a tennis Grand Slam in 1956. She won 11 Grand Slam tournaments over the course of her career.
Wow.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting because, like, of course, we always hear about Serena and Venus, and so, I mean, they're great, don't get me wrong, but the fact that there was, like, obviously there are people before them, but they don't get much recognition, so I thought that was great. I just want to give her props, and that was Althea Gibson. So just put her name out there, shout it to the rooftop. She's a pioneer, and she got that path going for people like Serena and Venus. So shout out to her.
I'm glad you brought that up. I definitely wanted to learn more about her story because it's just like, tennis is almost, I look at tennis like golf in a way where it's like, I didn't really think tennis was like in our communities like that, like tennis courts and stuff like that. So I'm really interested to learn how she got into tennis.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So that's interesting.
Althea Gibson.
Dope.
My flowers to you, girl. So, what are we talking about today, Jo'Van?
Sometimes, you just want to love, but you end up loving hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Loving real hard.
A lot of people say that, like, oh, I love so hard. And honestly, I've said that before. Like, that was something I would say about myself. Like, I love hard, and I do stand by that. But it does get a negative name. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think it could. But I heard this quote, and I was like, oh my gosh. So it was like getting on my nerves. It's a lot of people say I love hard, but instead of saying I'm codependent, lack boundaries, and become borderline obsessed with the person I'm interested in because of my anxious attachment style and fear of abandonment. But yeah, love hard sounds better. So that came from the Blunt Reader. So I read that, I was like, wait, is that me? And it's not me. But I was like, wait, I had to do some reevaluating myself, and that's not me. But it's very interesting that I was wondering though how many people who out here saying, oh, I love hard, but they're putting themselves on a back burner and like getting attached to these people and not necessarily thinking about themselves or what's best for them. So I was telling Jo'Van that we have to talk about this. So here we are.
So usually Brandice and I will kind of talk about a topic just a little bit, just to kind of understand where we're coming from, or just a little bit, just kind of lay the groundwork before we really get into it on the show. And this topic, we didn't really talk about it at all. But I was thinking about that. That's kind of how I've always looked at I love hard.
Really?
I've always looked at it as, okay, yeah, you may love hard, but it's just like, I don't understand loving hard, because to me, it's always been like, why? It's because you I feel like when you love hard, I feel like sometimes you're putting people on a pedestal. You know what I'm saying? They're like, they're so special, you gotta just love, you know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of it does stem from codependency. Like you're just so invested that you're just all in, but it's like, should you love hard if you're not getting that same energy back? If you're loving hard people that aren't giving you that same energy, that doesn't seem healthy.
No, it's not healthy whatsoever.
Right.
And I guess when I say it, it's like coming in a healthy way where you're doing that unconditional, but it's reciprocated. It's not just you're not necessarily putting that person on a pedestal where they're all and be all.
Right.
That's not. It's just, I guess me, it's just I'm gonna give my all in a very healthy way.
Right.
But it's also, listen, if you're not coming correct, listen, I am out this piece.
So defining me again. What is loving hard in a healthy way?
Well, loving unconditionally. I feel like now people claim they love people, but it's like always with conditions. And it's just like once things get hard or whatever the case may be, they're out. And I guess I saw that so much, so I felt like, again, another term I hate, especially now, like the ride or die person, because I'm not like, as far as like,
I don't believe in ride or die either,
but I'm going to stick to it when it gets a little tough. Not necessarily you're doing me dirty, but like if we have like it's not necessarily quote unquote all roses.
And that's a clear distinction that people need to understand.
Exactly, because you're not gonna drive me through the dirt and mud. But when we're just not that, it's like happy, like, okay, well, you know what I mean? Just a rough everyday, normal stuff. Not cheating. You're not doing all this.
No abuse.
That part. I'm not. So listen, don't come at me because listen. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm there for the good, the bad, like the normal good and bad. Not just when things get a little tough, like it might not be as like high when you first met. I'm still gonna stick it through with you, and and I feel like now especially people don't stick it through. It's like when things get a little too real, they're just like, okay, out to the next. It has to be something better. They always want that high, and that's just, I guess I've always felt that way, and that's why I said for myself I'm more of a quote unquote love heart, but I guess I need a new phrase.
I mean, because when I hear love hard, it just seems like, you shouldn't love hard on people who do you wrong. And I'm not saying that that's what the person is saying when they say they love hard, but it's just like, for me, I guess I'm describing it from the way I look at it. I can love you, but like you don't get certain parts of me if you're abusing that love and that dedication that I have to that relationship. I mean, at a certain point, you have to protect yourself. I love me hard too. You know what I'm saying?
Hard.
So,
that part.
Yeah, I love hard myself. So I think that negates me loving hard on someone else, because I'm like, hey, I mean, I matter, and if I'm not doing good, and if I'm not getting back from this, it is very easy for me not to love hard on you. I may love you, you know what I'm saying? That may never change. And it goes back to the unconditional versus conditional. Just because I say, okay, we got boundaries here, doesn't mean my love has changed. It's just like, okay, if you overstep those boundaries, we may not be able to be as close. You know what I'm saying? But I still love you.
Yes, and I think that's a good point, because first you have to love yourself to be able to extend. Like people always say, you have to have a full cup to pour out to someone else. So like if you don't love yourself and know your boundaries with somebody, it's never going to be healthy. And then that's where it's not going to be necessarily real love. It might be, where I'll get to in a second, attachment, where you feel like I'm obsessed with this person, like I can't move on, and that's not healthy. You have to have that real love, but you have to set those boundaries first. I feel like we've talked about boundaries so much on this show, but it's something so serious that a lot of people don't set for themselves. They feel like, they feel bad, or they want to please somebody else, but actually boundaries are very healthy.
And just to add on to that, I feel like another reason people are afraid of setting boundaries is because they feel like if they set boundaries, that person may not want them anymore and all that. But if that's the case, that's a clear sign. That's a clear sign of two things. One, your view and your relationship with this person is not in a good place, right? Yeah. Just off the bat, because you are being who you think they want you to be. If there's no boundaries, you're letting them do whatever they want. They're not going to respect you as much as they should right off the bat. And then two, if you I lost where I was going. What was I saying about? I was saying about boundaries. I don't know. My brain was just like, it's like, come back. But yeah, loving hard, man. You just gotta you gotta be careful with that, for sure. Definitely.
And I just want to point out, because like a lot of times when people say they love hard, it's because they have they're attached, they feel attached to this person, and it's not necessarily love. And I just want to have like 6 or 7 like key things to look out for to see if it's love or is it attachment. So first, love is selfless, attachment is selfish. Love is liberating, attachment is controlling. Love is mutual growth, attachment is encumbering. Love is everlasting, attachment is transient. So that's why I was saying, like, okay, I'm not. Love is ego reducing. Attachment is ego boosting. Love is unconditional. Attachment is a conditional. Love is making compromises. Attachment is always putting your needs first. Love accepts you the way you are. Attachment tries to change you.
Attachment is always putting your needs first.
Like you're not considerate of the other person. Not necessarily not in like an selfish way. Not necessarily.
Okay.
Yes, you want to put your need, but in a more selfish, like you don't even consider that person's whatever.
Okay.
I can see how that can come off.
Okay.
But no, not in a very selfish, like you don't matter. All it matters is me. That's in that kind of way.
Gotcha.
Thank you. And I want to clarify that for the audience too. Also, two little things. Being attached to someone can fill the void in your life, but it can never make you truly happy. But love is the most special and powerful emotion that makes your life better in every possible way. So if you feeling bogged down, it might not be love. It's that could be very much an attachment, an unhealthy attachment. So just some things to look out and just see if it's truly love or is this an attachment. And always, if you want the best test to see if it's true love, go by scriptures. 1 Corinthians 13, 4-7 is the best way to see is this love. So love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoice with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things.
I love that.
I felt like you had a piece. I feel like you
I know I love that, but I have like a bonus question.
Okay.
But get through that first.
No, I think that's fine.
Okay. So, do you feel like... Okay, how am I going to shape this? Okay. Do you feel like you should ever feel like you can't live without somebody? Like, you're in a relationship and you're saying like, I can't imagine living without that person. Is that healthy? Like, even if you're married to this person, like, I'm not saying you want them to go away. I'm just saying, but if you think like you truly cannot live without a person, isn't that a sign of like unhealthiness? What do you think?
I can see where you're coming from there. And I think the difference is I don't want to. You
don't want to what?
Live without the person. I think the difference of the
you don't
reshaping.
Want to.
I can live without you, but I never ever want to. And I think that's the shift.
Okay.
Because I mean, when you love somebody, of course you want them to be around, all that jazz, and you can't. I mean, I can see how you can't fathom your day-to-day life without them. So I think that's why people say that. But when it comes to unhealthy, like I will literally die if you leave me, or I can't live.
Right.
That's the issue. But I think the point of it is when people say that, healthy people, is they're saying, I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I think they just phrase it wrong, and I think it comes off that way.
Yeah, I think, because, no, it really depends on where that person is when they're saying that.
Yeah.
I can't live without them, because it's just like, but you should be able to, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It sounds nice. It sounds
does.
all romantic. Like, I can't live without you. It's like, oh, that's so sweet. But then, I don't know, if you're if you're dating, that could come off like, that could be like a red flag. Like, I can't live without you. You might be like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? Hold up now. You know what I'm saying? That's like, but yeah. I feel like, if you feel like you can't live without somebody, like if they went away, you would lose purpose in your life. Yeah, that's not good. I don't think that's good.
I have something to tell you after this, because I know it's going to come off wrong, but I can't, I don't know. But yes.
Come on now. We trying to get canceled 2022. Let's go.
No, I just feel like some people literally have an unhealthy attachment to people. Facts. And I remember, I will never forget, like
me. I had that. I've been through that. So yeah.
But okay, it's one thing when people have it with people they know or whatever, but when you have it with somebody you don't know, because I'm not trying to be funny when I say this, it's just legit facts.
What do you mean you don't know?
Huh?
What do you mean?
When, like celebrities. I'm gonna say.
Okay.
So like, you know how some people like you love, I don't know, Beyonce, Rihanna, whoever. You're like, oh my God, this is my favorite celebrity. But some people have unhealthy attachments or view of reality. So I remember when Michael Jackson died, there were several people who committed suicide because they felt like they couldn't go on or whatever the case may be. And I thought that was the wildest thing. And don't get me wrong, I loved Michael Jackson.
It's the king of pop. You know
he is the king of pop. Forever will be. GOAT. But it's just those people who thought, I can't even fathom it in my head, so I can't even, but it's just somebody who they didn't even know, just think of how their everyday relationships were, to feel like, oh, this person died, I can't live without them.
Yeah, that's actually kind of sad. That's very sad.
It's very sad. Like, so I was like, I don't know how this can come off, but it's just, I don't know. I just had to, when you said that, it made me think about that. And I was just like, whew. So just make sure that what you're experiencing is love and not attachment. And
that's powerful. That's powerful, because it's like they could say that they love hard. I loved Michael Jackson so hard that when he died, I was like, well, I'm checking out too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
no, seriously,
you
no,
know,
for
they
real.
could define that as loving hard.
Yeah.
So you can easily see like how that can be turned into a very toxic type of behavior.
Legit.
So just be careful.
Yes, and if you are in a relationship where it is unhealthy or you feel in that way, please seek help, so you don't ever like get in that situation like, oh, they left me, no, I can't go on. So please, if you ever feel that way, I mean, I know we've talked about how to move on. There's closure episode. You can go back to our previous episodes for those facts, but also please seek help, because we never want ever to have to lose someone because of that. So
yeah,
this got a little serious there.
No, it was a good subject though.
But yeah,
yes. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in again. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, Closing the Gap BHAM.
yes,
And thank y'all for tuning in, and we will see y'all next Thursday.
yes. I'm black, y'all. Blackity, I'm black, y'all.